So today we're gonna get straight into this video. So as you can see by the title, today's just gonna be a freshman advice, Kean University, class 2025, 24, 23, 22, yada yada. Everything I'm gonna say in this video, you can take it and apply it to you in college, but this is mainly gonna be geared toward class of 2025, but anybody else can really pick up some tips from here. So the way I'm going to be doing this video, I'm going to break it down into 4 sections. The first one being school and academics, dorm life, relationships, and safety. And then at the end, I'm just going to answer a few questions that incoming freshmen have going into college and Kean University. So I'm going to wrap that up towards the end of the video. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. So before I start, I just want to really go over the difference between high school and college. So as we hear in high school, we hear a lot of, oh, in college, it's not gonna be like this because yada, 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 or you can't do this, you can't do that. And I can really attest that, you know, at the time I was just like, you know, college, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, no. You really need to be on top of your stuff in college because unlike high school, you're not gonna have like those teachers that are gonna be like, oh, make sure you get this work done so I can give you an A, or hey, you have this due in 2 weeks, or hey, this was a week late or a couple days late. You're really not gonna have any professors do that at all. And if you do, you won't. So don't even think you will because you won't. So that's just number one off rip. You need to make sure that you are prioritizing all your work, activities, everything that you just have going on. You need to make sure that you're on top of it because you're not going to have anybody that's on top of it. It's going to be so easy for you to get backtracked and it's going to be so hard for you to play catch up. So rule number 1, be on top of your stuff. And that's kind of the only rule that I have, but that's like the main one. You need to be on top of your stuff. Okay. With that being said, first tip sort of thing I recommend is just getting a planner. It can be any kind of planner, honestly. It could be a multi-planner, you know, where it has like the notebook and a planner with the calendars. It could just be a regular planner. It can just be anything. Just make sure you have some sort of planner that can help you plan out your workload, your activities, your meetings, if you have any, your class time, just everything that you have basically school related and school oriented. Just make sure you guys have that planned out. I was looking for my planner before recording this video just to show you guys how I did it because honestly, a planner is really what saved me my freshman year because it was just a huge transition. So I definitely recommend everybody to get a planner and make sure that you are utilizing that planner because your planner is going to be your best friend and it will not steer you wrong. So I don't know if you guys were like me, but in high school, I did not study at all. Like all of my quizzes and stuff just consisted of the homework that I did the night before. So I really never like sat down, went through my notes, redid problems, redid this, redid that. So in college, I was definitely struggling a little bit there, but I mean, I passed. Okay, and I passed with really great grades. You have to set aside time for studying. It's no, oh, I got it in the bag. Oh, I know this. I already learned this. No, learn it again. Teach yourself again. If you already got the concept, review it, do more problems. You just need to make sure that information does not slip your mind because I'm telling you, well, for you guys now, everything's gonna be in person. So it's really no going back to the lectures. It's really no reviewing everything you want on Blackboard. It's really none of that. So when you're in person, you cannot go back in time and review what your professor said or taught you in class. So it's really like vital that you make sure you're taking your notes and you're setting aside time to study because if not, like I said, it's so easy to get backtracked and it's going to be so hard for you to play catch up. So it's better that you start off really strong so that you just already have it set and done for the rest of your 4 years. In addition to studying on campus, we have the Starbucks, the library, we have the bookstore, we have our dining halls, we have our dorms, and even across the street we have like the Panera Bread and like the different places where you can sit down. Those are all great places for you to go and study and get work done, because when you're studying or either getting work done, it's always great to just be in a space where you feel you'll be most productive or most comfortable getting your work done at. So for example, when I was on campus, I used to always go to the library, or I would just sit at the Starbucks. Or I know that the dorms, we have designated study rooms, so I would always go in there and utilize those spaces to get my work done, study, and just go over lectures and things that we went over in class. And that has helped me like tremendously. You guys have to utilize the different areas that we have on campus that are designated for studying, because when you go in those places and you like see everybody else like doing what you are going in there to do, you just feel a little bit more motivated to get what you did done, and you know, not necessarily slack off because, oh, they got a history book, I forgot, let me get some history. So it's really just like a great place for you to be, and that can definitely help you when it comes to getting your work done, studying, etc. So as I told you guys, it's very different from high school. So I'm just gonna really get into the professors now, because college, it's just so different. So you know, high school, elementary school, everything, you do not have to pay for any of that. So going into college, you're basically paying the professors to teach you. So you might have some professors that are very understanding, will help the students understand what they're teaching, and just, you know, help sometimes even work one-on-one with the students just to make sure that they comprehend what you guys are doing. But you might also have those professors that just teach it once and then move on. So this legit goes back to me talking about the studying. You are basically in control of everything in college, regardless if you have a nice professor to where they make sure that you understand what you're doing, or you have a not so nice professor that legit just goes through it and passes on and doesn't even care if you know the work. It really is up to you to make sure that you are taking the correct notes, and you're setting aside time to study, and it will definitely drag your grades if you don't know how to go about that correctly. So with that being said, note taking, you guys, if you don't learn, YouTube it just on how to take very effective notes. I know a method that helped me a lot when it came to me taking notes, and that actually helped me comprehend what we were learning, were like the Cornell note setups, where you know they have like the the lines, and it's like you basically put like the main topics and then the information on the other side. I just found that the Cornell note method helped me a lot when it came to taking notes, and actually going over them. It was very easy and efficient for me for studying, note taking, and just looking back, even if I need some help with doing a homework assignment. So definitely utilize the different types of note taking methods that you guys can have. It's really all about how you put it to make sure that you understand it, regardless if you took that class 3 semesters ago and you might need it. So you want to just put your notes in a very effective way that if you don't need it now, you might need it junior year to refresh your mind a little. So it's definitely great to make sure you guys have good note-taking skills, and to make sure that you guys have an effective note-taking layout and or style. So as I mentioned, you're basically paying for college. You're paying for college. You are paying for college. Let me just say that again. You are paying for college. It's not high school. It's not covered by no tax dollars. You are basically paying for college and paying these professors to teach you. So it is your responsibility to make sure that you are reaching out or doing the necessary things for you that you need to do for you to comprehend and actually learn and get by in your classes. If you do have one of those harsh teachers on campus, there are like many tutoring group sessions, and you reach out to your regular advisor and just get the tutoring help. And they even have tutoring that's on Blackboard. Definitely utilize the tutoring, because it can definitely help you when it comes to grasping what you're learning and doing everything that you need to get done. And just like I mentioned, if you already know it, just to give you a nice refresh. So as you guys know, the previous year I was only on campus for the fall semester, and everything was basically virtual. So it wasn't that easy learning because I don't really learn very great through the screen. So I had to take it upon myself to basically teach myself what we went over in class and just review the lectures and everything to make sure that I was grasping what we were learning. But ways that helped me learn more were just checking out YouTube videos. I can guarantee you that YouTube is going to be your best friend in college, especially if you're a STEM major like me. So when it comes to like your math and science classes, you will literally not know what you're doing at all. The teacher can tell you like a million times how to do it. You can rewatch the lecture a million times and you will still not know how to do it. So utilize your tools. So YouTube being a huge tool that I used for the whole last year. Just type that problem in and I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10 what you're looking for is going to be right there. Sometimes the way the professor explains it, it doesn't really click, so you have to just see how everybody else is doing it, and it can help you. So I definitely utilize YouTube to just go over things that I didn't quite understand and just get a different viewpoint from somebody else, or just like a different professor or, you know, person. I'm gonna end off the school and academic topic with this. Basically, freshman year is your foundation year. It is the year that you have to do your best. You have to stand out the most because you have to get that 4.0. You have to strive for the greatest grades that you've ever gotten, because like I mentioned, it is your foundation year. It's basically going to set you up for your next 3 years. So for example, if you're flunking mad classes freshman year, you left freshman year with a 2.5 GPA and you're just really down bad, I'm sorry, but you're done up after that. You're really done up, because it's going to be so hard to get your GPA up, get those grades back, and just basically get everything. It's just going to be hard. It's just going to be playing catch up, and you know, catch up is always harder than it is to be derailed. So freshman year is your foundation year. Do not mess up. You want freshman year to be great. So say if needs be, sophomore, junior, senior year, you can't take anything less than a B, C, A, or you just have to take the grade that you're getting. You want that space in your later years to where you can sort of mess up and take the L. But if you are flunking your classes freshman year, if you aren't taking them seriously, if you're just not doing what you're really supposed to be doing, it's really going to be hard playing catch up, and it's really going to set you back a lot. So remember, freshman year is your foundation year. Try your best, do your best, and strive to be the best. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to talk about is dorm life. So for freshmen, they have 2 dorm choices, which is the regular freshman hall, and then they have Cougar Hall, which is a mix of sophomores and freshmen. For freshman year, I stayed on Cougar Hall, and it was really great. The dorms are very clean. They're the newest built ones as well, so they're very modern and up to date. You have a lot of space. The rooms are big, and you just have a nice, very modern, up to date, clean look. And who doesn't like that? I've never been in the freshman hall dorms, but I know from like pictures that I've seen, they're not similar to Cougar Hall. They're a little bit more. They're just a little bit more outdated. If you stay in the both, you'll still have a great time, but it's just basically the layout and the look of the dorms that are different. So as you guys know, last year we were basically in a pandemic. So I had my own room. Everybody had their own rooms, and basically the college's population was like cut into half. So I had the whole room to myself, which it was all right. I still didn't even have enough space to fit all my stuff, which was like really annoying. So I really commend you guys, because y'all gotta fit all your stuff into that little space, and now I'm trying to get used to it. It's just a whole lot going on, and I just really just want to commend y'all, because y'all are gonna be so strong, because it's gonna be my first time having somebody else in my room and just having to split everything in half. Like, I didn't even have enough space for the stuff I had the freaking first year. I done got more stuff, and now, you know what? Let's not get into that. like I mentioned, in Cougar Hall and Freshman Hall, the rooms are a decent size. The scenery is very nice, and there are study areas in both dorms as well as the laundry room. In the dorming halls, they do have like vending machines. I know in Cougar Hall they have like a game room. I'm not sure if they have that in the Freshman Hall, but if not, there's a game room right in where the dining hall is. But in Cougar Hall there is a gaming room, and then various study rooms and lounge areas throughout the dorm. So let's get into the topic of roommates. So I know many people probably don't even know their roommate, or probably just like recommended or probably requested to get a room with their friend. If you can do that, I would definitely recommend doing that. But if you're someone who's willing to branch out and make new friends, I definitely just say do a random as well. But when you get there, let's just learn to respect other people's things. With both other dorms, they both have like their own bathrooms in the suites. But regardless of that, just make sure that you're keeping your area very clean. If you're like a messy type of person, which I hope you're not, you need to just get out of that, because there are like room inspections, and if your room is dirty, you will legit fail. I'm pretty sure if you fail, you get a fine, or you either have to take it again a couple days later, and if it's still a mess, you have to pay a fine. It's just something like that. So just make sure when you get there, you're just making sure your space is very clean. And if your roommate possibly isn't clean, I'd say, you know, just bring it to their attention, let them know. And if it's not being resolved, you better bring an RA or somebody in that room, because if you can't, I know me, I'm not the person that can take mess. So if somebody's really giving me, I just can't. So speaking for yourself, just make sure that you're very clean, because when those room inspections and everything comes around, or when you're just having people in your room, you just don't want to be looking like you live nasty, right? So now going on to basically like room inspection, room restriction type things. So for this upcoming school year, for the class of 2025, you guys are able to have like guests and people in your room. But for the previous year, we weren't allowed to have anybody in our room. We weren't allowed to go nowhere. It was legit like your room, y'all could chill in the lounge area, but y'all gotta be like 7 chairs apart. It was just crazy. But I'm pretty sure with, you know, everybody having to be vaccinated on campus, all those restrictions are basically gonna go away. And I know now they did mention that we are able to have guests. So as long as they take like a COVID test or provide their vaccine card 2 days before going on campus, they're able to come. So you guys definitely have a little more leeway when it comes to having people in your room and just bringing guests onto the campus. So going back to the topic of room inspections, as I mentioned, you guys just need to make sure you keep your room very clean and just, you know, less messy. But there are also things that you cannot have in your room. So things like a hot plate or candles. I don't even think you can have a toaster in there, or just like you can't have like excessive cords. It's just too much. They used to be asking too much. So if you are to bring any of that on campus, just make sure like when room inspection time comes around, you just basically like hide it. They're allowed to like look around your room, yada yada, but they can't legit like go into your personal space. So if you're going to bring that on, I say bring it at your own risk, but just make sure when room inspections come around, you hiding it or you just putting it away, because you do not want to get caught with that, because then they confiscate it. And I'm pretty sure that's another fine, or you get written up. It's just something. So you just want to make sure that you're not even put in that position of being written up or being fined because you got a candle or a hot plate or just something. So just to add on, both dorms, they do have like the fridge and the microwave, so it's no. And they all have kitchens at the bottom of them. Well, I know Cougar Hall has a kitchen. I'm not sure about Freshman Hall. I can't really speak too much about Freshman Hall, but I know Cougar Hall does have like the kitchen at the bottom where it has like the stoves, oven, and everything. So if you do want to like go cook, you can just go down there and make something. But if you choose to bring like a nice toaster, hot plate or something, just make sure when room inspections come around, it's out of sight. Speaking of RAs, it's really good to just make sure that you guys have some sort of connection with your RAs, even if it's just like a wave hi and bye type of connection. Just make sure you guys are just, you know, have some sort of friendly relations with them, just because they're basically the people that are basically above you in your dorm. So they can like write you up, they can confiscate, they can go in your room, legit, they can legit go in your room. Like if you don't, they have like 3 knocks, so it's like, if you're not at that door after that 3rd knock, they are allowed to come in. So it's best that you guys have a friendly relationship with your RAs, just to, you know, relieve the tension or seriousness of an actual RA. And it's just nice to have a relationship with an RA, a friendly relationship with an RA, just because, you know, you'll just have plugs and just, you know, you just got connections. It's always good to have connections. So if you can make a connection with your RA, I advise you to do that, because you never know when you might need them or when they might come in clutch. So Kean is a dry campus, meaning you can't like smoke, you can't have alcohol, you just can't do all that stuff on campus. And if you're caught with it, I'm pretty sure you get written up or you get kicked out. They're very serious about that, so do all that at your own risk. But I know there are campus like events to where you can meet new people. There are like on and off campus parties, and also there is the train station right on campus. So it's like you and your friends can go over to the city and just spend a day over there and, you know, have your fun there, because like I said, it's a dry campus, so they really be on top of you and whatever everybody really be doing. So if you do choose to, you know, have a little fun on campus, just make sure you're being very wise and cautious about what you're doing. So Kean, yes, it's a dry campus, but you just have to know those people and know where the waves are to have that college experience, have that fun, yada 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 yada. So on campus they do have pledging and everything. So rule number 1, if you guys are coming into college having the mindset that, yes, I want to pledge, I want to do this, I want to join this, I want to do that, make sure you keep that to yourself. Honestly, if you have plans on pledging, make sure you keep that to yourself, because the last thing you want to, you know, you want going around is, oh, that person over there is talking about oh, they want to be one of us, watch they never be, you know, you just don't want to have like your business out there, and you can't really trust people to keep what you're saying personal, especially when it comes to something as serious as pledging, because I promise you, you will be embarrassed if that junk goes around school. You will not get what you want. It'll just be very embarrassing. So if you have any goals or plans to pledge in college, just make sure you keep everything on the hush. You attend their little meetings and everything, but you just keep everything on the low until you in there, pop out and, you know, talk all you want. I also just want to touch on things that you just probably shouldn't do around campus. So like, as I mentioned, there'll be like on and off campus parties. Just make sure, like, when you get, like, college is really not like high school, so you need to just, hopefully everybody's just a little bit more mature. So if you can, just stay out of drama, because the last thing you need is for you to be in some drama in a place that you're going to school at, where you're paying to go to school at, and probably, if that junk is serious, you probably fight somebody on campus and you legit get kicked out of school. Stay out of drama. We are grown. Stay out of drama. There's no need that you need to be beefing with somebody. It's just pointless. Don't be beefing with nobody, because you'll be sick if you get into a fight, that junk get back to the dean, you getting kicked out of school, and you still got to pay that $30,000 loan that you done took out. So just make sure you guys are being very mindful about the things that you're doing, and how you're doing it, and who you're doing it with, because you don't want to have a bad reputation just attached to you, and that's just not what you want to do. So just be very mindful of how, you know, you're going about things, or just saying certain things, because it could get back to you. It can get to the whole school. Kean is really not that big of a campus, so it's legit, like, it could get to the whole school if it really wanted to, okay? So just make sure you're being mindful about how you're acting, what are you doing, who you're doing it with, yada yada, etc. All right, guys, so let's get into the next topic, which is going to be relationships. So a lot of people might think going into college, like, oh my gosh, I'm finna find my husband, or I'm finna find my wife, or I'm just finna find the love of my life. And that might be the case for you, but don't expect that junk freshman year. Don't expect going into freshman year you're gonna find you a little boyfriend, girlfriend, and just be all up under each other 24/7 and just think y'all gonna be together forever and gonna get married. It's not like that at all. None of these freshman boys or girls are going into college thinking they want a relationship. Legit, they're getting mad freedom. They're seeing mad new people that they never met before. They're getting mad opportunities. They're just doing a whole lot, getting introduced to a whole lot that does not involve relationships. So please do not go into college think you about to find your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, aunt, uncle, cousin, stepbrother, aunt, all of that. Just scratch it off your bucket list, because I'm telling you, you're going to end up getting your feelings hurt, or you just going to end up looking really stupid because he or she probably going to be trying to flirt, talk to you one second, one day be all up under you, probably sleeping up in your dorm, and then the next day they right with the next chick. So do not go into school thinking that you were about to be cuffed up, all that, especially your freshman year. Enjoy it. Experience it, okay? You don't want to hop into a relationship and be tied down and then say that relationship, look, you mad because he or she over there talking to somebody else, and now look at you slipping up in your math class because you worrying about the next one. Or just be very smart. For college, you're basically given so much freedom. We're very independent now, so things might happen. So you never know what can really go on, especially like what people be having or just what they got going on with their life. So, college, we do some things, okay? So we just want to make sure whenever you're doing those things to make sure you're protected. Had that whole wrapped up. Moral of the story, had that whole wrapped up, okay? You don't know what these people got going on, what they did in their past relationships, who they was just with the night before, what that person got going on. So you just want to make sure, like, anything that you do, you make sure it's protected, safe, and look, take care of yourself. If somebody say they clean, don't necessarily mean they clean. You need to take the proper precautions to make sure you're not getting caught up in nothing, and make sure that nothing is being transmitted to you. And if you feel as though something like that happened, there's testing on campus. So like HIV testing, herpes, AIDS, all that testing you can get done right on campus, and it's all covered. So make sure if you're feeling like that, make sure you go get checked out, and just make sure that you are just being very safe and protected to when it comes to doing the things that y'all be doing. With that being said, yes, you might get involved with a person or a couple people, but if you want to do that, just make sure you keeping that business on the low, and whoever you're doing it with is somebody that you trust and will keep that business on the low, because the last thing you want is for that to be going around school or just going to the wrong people and then everybody knowing your business. Your image is everything. Your image is everything, especially your freshman year. Like I said, even with the grades, it's your foundation year. That junk will follow you. It will follow you, and you want to make sure that you have nothing tied to you. So your image is everything. You ladies, you guys and ladies, let me not even try to single nobody out. You need to make sure y'all are having respect for yourselves and having morals, because it's some of y'all little fast little girls and little boys that just don't got no respect and no morals and just be out here doing stuff with anybody and just carrying on a certain way. You guys just need to make sure coming into college you are just out of that mindset, because it's just really not gonna fly. I mean, it'll fly because nobody's really gonna tell you like, yo, make sure you chill with that. Nobody's really gonna tell you that. So it's up to yourself to just make sure like you're being on top of yourself. You're making sure you're having respect for yourself. If you're at a party, just have some respect and some morals. Don't be just going to random boys' dorms, random girls' dorms, doing this and that. Like, and if things happen. So if you do, just make sure things stay on the low. You don't want everything and everybody in your business, because then that's going to reflect your reputation and your respect and morals that you have for yourself. And the last thing you want is for you to have a bad reputation, especially in college. And if you're going into probably like a medical school, graduate school, and that reputation follows you and was something that's serious, it can jeopardize other things that you might have going on later in life. So you just want to make sure that you have a great reputation and are having respect, and your morals and everything are just in check. So the last topic I want to talk about is safety. So I'm going to go back to basically the subtopic of parties. So like I said, you will have like on and off campus parties, events. You can go to the city, you can just do a lot of things around and on campus. Starting off, basically Kean has their own police department on campus, so it'll always be like police patrolling around campus, or just see that one police car parked up next to the dining hall, or just see them riding through the campus. They just be all over that campus. If you feel a little unsafe, just know that there's always those extra pair of eyes that's literally on the campus. And say you're walking late at night, they're all like blue boxes, like help things, like a phone I think is attached to it. But there's a whole bunch of those around campus, so if you're ever feeling unsafe, you can always just go to one of those boxes, hit the button, and then a police will legit be there in like a couple minutes, maybe even a couple seconds, because legit the station is right on campus. But going back to the subtopic of parties, when you're at these places, just make sure who you're with are people that you trust, and just are people that you feel comfortable around, just because anything really can happen at these parties, especially college parties. I'm just gonna keep it real blunt. People get raped, a whole bunch of things happen, so you want to make sure that you're being safe. You're going with people that you can trust. You're being mindful of your surroundings and who you're with, who you're coming with, and who you're leaving with. You just want to be mindful of a lot of those things, because anything can happen, and I would hate for anything like that to happen to anybody. So I just really want to implement safety, especially when going out, going to these parties, probably going to the city. Just make sure safety is your #1 priority. If y'all can, like, get you a little pepper spray, get you a little something, get you a little taser, something. Just, you know, have it, just, you know, protection, because y'all want to be protected. And like I mentioned, at these college parties, it's literally like, it's very crazy, it's very different. A lot of things happen. So that's really where I want to make sure you guys like implement that. You just need to be very mindful of your surroundings, especially if like there's a lot of things going on. If there's like if there's frats or sororities like doing whatever they do in the middle, and it's just crowded, it's a lot of things going on. Somebody could slip something in your drink, somebody could pass you a drink, somebody could pass you, you know, other things. You just want to make sure that you're being mindful, and you know, if you don't feel comfortable taking it, don't let that whole take it. If you go into the bathroom, this goes for ladies or guys. If it's 4 y'all, 2 stay there, 2 go to the bathroom. If it's 3 y'all, all y'all go to that bathroom. So, you know, you just want to make sure that you guys are being very safe and very practical when you go into these situations, because at the end of the day, anything can happen. And like I said, I would hate for any of that to happen to y'all. Okay, so I know those last 2 topics were a little short, but now we're going to just get into some of the questions that incoming freshmen for Kean University or just other colleges have asked me, and some concerns that older classes had coming into freshman year, so that you guys can just be informed on how others were feeling, or just get some answers to things you were probably wondering. And if I don't touch upon everything that you guys are wondering, you can always go into comment your questions down below, and I'll just respond to them in the chat. So let's get straight into these questions. So one of the questions were, how would I get familiar with campus and taking the shuttles to my various classes? Off rip, like I mentioned earlier, Kean University really isn't even that big of a campus. So when you like do a couple walkthroughs of the campus as a whole, you're honestly going to understand where you're at. And especially when you're going to your classes, you're just gonna understand, oh, there's the cast building, or there's the dining building, that's Cougar, that's freshman, that's socio. You'll just get very familiar with the area pretty quickly, especially if you're just, you know, taking a lot of trips and doing a lot what you have to do. For me, I didn't really have to take any of the shuttles to my classes. I know they're like, certain majors have like classes across at that one building. I totally forgot what it's called, but I know you like check the app. There's like pickup stations all throughout campus, and it's like a 10-minute ride to the other side, or just something like that, to where it can just get you around campus and just get you to where you need to be. So for me, So I know for you guys are having like in-person orientation. So at the orientation, they basically like give you your ID, give you everything, and they're gonna walk you around campus and basically show you everything. So when you guys are going to your orientations, or if you already went, just make sure you are paying attention to where they're showing you, because it's just always a good thing to do. And as I mentioned, it's not gonna be hard to figure out where you're at on campus and how to get around, because it isn't that big of a campus. So just keep that in mind. The next question is, how will I make genuine friends? So in college, we all know that 9 times out of 10, we make those lifelong friends that just are there, that we just build a deeper connection with than friends in high school, elementary, and just are those friends that we usually stick throughout life with. And I recommend finding those friends can just literally be doing everything that you do every day. So if you have a certain interest within, let's say, the student government or bio, just go to like various events that they're having on campus, or some might be virtual. Just go to those things that you are interested in, and I'm pretty sure that you will find somebody who is just interested in it as well. Just going to these different events, you're definitely going to meet a lot of new people, and even people who are going for the same reasons as you. You have similar likings and you're looking for friends, so you guys can definitely click at various events. And even people in your classes, you can reach out to them, or have like a class group chat to where you can have like study dates or whatever, and just, you know, build friendships like that. So I definitely say utilize the various events, the programs, the things that you just like. Just make sure you get involved, because when you get involved, you'll meet a lot of new people, and some of those people might really be genuine and your lifelong friends. So the next question is it better to take morning or night/evening classes? And that class is, that that answer is really based up to your preference. For me, I like to take morning classes just because I like to get myself in the motion of waking up early, just getting my day started, and having the whole day to do a whole bunch of stuff. So I feel like morning classes are definitely for those people that want to have a little bit more time management and just get their life in a little bit of order, so that most of their classes are going to be done by like probably noon, 2 o'clock the latest, and then they'll have legit the rest of the day to do whatever, study, homework, chill, eat, you know. So in my opinion, I like morning classes, but I think the latest class I had was probably like one at 3 o'clock to like 6, I think. And it wasn't too bad, but I just feel like later times, and like I said, y'all, this is my opinion, but like later time classes, they just really I just don't like them. Late at night, you want to go out with your friends, you want to just be out. You don't want to be sitting in a class, especially if you have like a 3-hour class, probably say like 6 to 9, 3 to 6. So it's definitely just based off of your preference and what you want to do and how it works with your schedule as well, because maybe you have like an off-campus or on-campus job to where you only can do night classes. It's all based upon your preference and how it is for you. So the next question is, how can I manage my time more, and how can I find a balance when it comes to my school? So it just basically goes back to what I was saying in the first topic, school and academics. Just having a planner or having something that can help you basically plan out your weeks, your days, even your months of schoolwork, things outside of school, events, activities, programs, or just things that you're going to be involved in. Utilizing a planner, or even utilize like Google Calendar or the reminder app that we have on our phone, are just like little ways that we can practice and inherit time management and a balance for school. It can just help you guys with sorting out everything and just taking off a load from you, so you don't have to be scrambling around 24/7 wondering, oh, I have to do this, when does this do, yada yada. So it's always great to have like a planner or just something where you can visually see what is due on this day, what might be past due, what might be upcoming, quizzes, tests, homeworks, meetings. So definitely utilize the planner, utilize your phone. I know we're always on our phone, so utilize Google Calendar is also great. The reminders on our phone. it's just a lot. And you know, these various apps that we have, so just make sure you guys are utilizing the tools that you have around you, honestly. So that would definitely help you with time management and getting a balance with school and even social life, because then you plan it and you know you have free time this time to that time, you have this set day for this and this time for this. So you know, it'll just basically help you plan out your life and school. So the next question is, are the parties worth it? I'm not gonna say going out to parties are not worth it, but they're definitely an experience that I feel as though everybody should experience. So if you know about a party, if you know about anything going on in the city, I say go. That's what college is for. Going out and having fun, experiencing different things that you know you probably couldn't do because your mama said you got to be home by 11 o'clock. So you know, go out and experience college. Go out and experience everything that you know you can't do when you at home, or that you couldn't do because you're in college. Or that you couldn't do because you're in high school. So yeah, just go out, have fun, live, but be on top of your stuff. Let's not forget, be on top of your stuff and be aware of your surroundings. And as I mentioned, go to the city, have fun in the city, spend a night in the city, get a little B&B in the city, just do anything, have fun. And yeah. And I know also, being a Kean student, we get discounted tickets for the train going to New York and all that, or just, you know, the train period. So definitely utilize your tools and your resources that you have around you. Okay guys, so that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if I forgot anything that you guys were curious about, just leave a comment and I will respond to all of them, because I know coming in as a freshman can be very tedious. You don't know who, what to do, how to do it. So if you have any questions, just make sure to leave them down below and follow me on all my socials and go tune into some of my other videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.